Voilà, good morning. It's beautiful to see you, Dr. Marion, from the farm.
Oh, yes.
And to see you again at distance now. It was so lovely to visit the farm a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to share with you and with the people about the situation, the actual situation now that is happening and how that affected the people in the stress and in the immune system. And I would love to hear more about the reopening also of the farm and what you offer specifically now to actually strengthen the immune system due to all the pandemic that is happening at the moment.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So the farm is a health resort, medical health resort in the Philippines, and it has been open since May 16. So right now, what we're offering with it's more for immune intelligence, immune care, because we come from a belief that if you take care of your immune system will take care of you. So basically there are 5 things that we ought to consider when we want an optimal immune system. One is proper diet and hydration, and that is definitely related to willpower. Yeah. So for example, that taking too much sweets would not be good for the overall health of an individual, and viruses, because now the concern is COVID. Bacteria, viruses, they actually feed on glucose or sugar. So we want to cut down on our intake of sugar, especially during flu season. And definitely you want to hydrate or drink enough water. And then you have exercise. And when we say exercise, it's not just, the usual Zumba or aerobics. It could be a flowing movement. So ideally what you want is oxygenation. So when you exercise, especially in an area where there is fresh air, that will be very ideal. The third thing to consider would be rest and rhythm. So with rhythm comes exposure to sunlight and proper sleep. So if you have this, then the body, for example, the heart moves rhythmically. And that's why from the time of birth till the time of death, the heart just moves without needing to stop, because it's a rhythmical movement. And when it's a rhythmical movement, it's not tiring, it's life-giving. So very important to incorporate rhythm in one's life. And then you have mental emotional stability or mental emotional hygiene, to really center yourself. How can you be so centered that even when you hear different news out there, right now the experience of many people would be they don't know who to trust anymore. There's no consensus between the scientific world. And we go back to the heart and really tune into our hearts, because this is the organ. When we really go into that silent, beautiful space of the heart, you can discern what is truth and untruth. And that gives you mental, emotional equanimity. And then the last one to consider when you want immune intelligence would be your alignment with the source, alignment with self, or alignment with, some people don't like those terms, but just being in harmony with nature. And when you're aligned with that, then there's just this feeling of, trusting that there's something else out there that will protect you, and that the world is not really such a threatening place despite all the changes that's happening. So what we have here would be the basic. And so whatever we offer here is actually related to this 5.
That's wonderful. So you offer now support for the people. You reopen the farm, and those programs are there to really strengthen the immune system, make that the people can recover also from the stress from the society. and then go back home and feel like stronger, healthier, more rested. And you still have all the team of the doctors there, and
yeah, so we have different doctors with different skills. Like the ones who are coming here are the ones who are afraid to go to the hospitals. So acute hepatitis, so we have a critical care expert who's on board. So our team is okay. Whatever is needed, we adjust.
That's wonderful.
The thing to understand is that, so you have your immune system, which is in the middle. If your immune system is quite deficient, then virus can come in. Exactly. But if the immune system is overactive, that's the other end. So you want to be in the middle. That's the cytokine storm, and that's what makes COVID deadly or scary. So you want to be in the middle. And be, for example, now with flu season, because there's a lot of fear going on. You know, when there's flu season, how can you now determine if what you have is flu or already COVID? And the thing is, first, trust your immune system. And I want to quote an African proverb: there's no threat from outside if there's no enemy from within.
That's a beautiful quote, and it's so true. And it has been really special also to visit the farm a few months ago, and and to experience to experience the space. And I could really have this perception of such a positive like vortex when we enter. It's really like a very profound healing sanctuary. Just the space itself provide already, like you say, you have like 5 aspects that are key for the immune system. And I could perceive like the very clear connection there between the space, the environment. You have all the earth, you have a good grounding. People can walk around the park, can connect with the trees, the nature, which is so comforting. And then you also have some water, like some ponds around the space, that also provide like that emotional support and comfort for everyone. And the integrity between the nature surrounding and also the diets that you offer and the support of the doctors. It's really like a healing sanctuary with perfect complementarity for people to redefine and actually clean. When you feel like, from the proverb you just shared, like if there is no enemy inside, there is no threat outside. And I feel like just being into the healing sanctuary over there, it just bring that aha moment, you know, when you can really feel like, yes, I'm just at the right place at the right time. And personally, like also providing services now online because it's more difficult to be in person. And I noticed really that the stress caused at the moment in the society with so much insecurity can create like an instability inside of us. And like you said, like also the breath, you know, the clarity of the breath, the direction of the thoughts, the oxygenation. It's really a vital energy that we need to bring every single day. And connecting the breath to the heart. And there is one aspect that I notice very clear at the moment is this heart space. And we speak about the frequency. There is like a magnet, like a crown around the heart. And this magnet, I think, is a magnet that has been very affected with the situation, as much with the fear and stress. People like have a tendency to close that magnet around the heart. And that's actually really the source, close to the thymus, close to the immune system, also directly linked to the breath and to the magnetism of the people. Do you notice also like a correlation with the heart and this magnetism around, and the fact for people to really tune again into the heart, so that from there we can find this empowerment and the peace inside, from where we can be strong enough and having a vital energy to continue to move forward even in difficult situations. So do you notice with the program also supports then for people to find that strength, that confidence again when they need to go back home?
What I want to share would be during the lockdown. So this was around third week of March. And I got different calls from some people all over the world. So one was from New York, and for whatever reason, she cannot be accepted to the hospital. I think there was too many and she cannot be accommodated. So that's one case. A second one was from another country, and the hospital where he was supposed to go said they're not ready to treat COVID, so they don't know how to help him. So, and then I have a third one, but another country. So over the phone, and when you listen to them, it seems like it's COVID, but they were not tested. So, what do we normally do when we have flu? So salt water gargle, steam, salt water steam inhalation, ginger tea. So things that our grandmothers already taught us. So those were the things I was advising to them, and later on they became okay. But what they said was the most important thing was this person anchoring hope for them while they were going through this experience. So I would want to, because there were a lot of patients calling me. So one would be actual COVID cases. A second one would be those who are so scared, like one was having a seeming stroke, but she was just too scared to go to the hospital. I was really encouraging her, please go to the hospital, but she was just so scared. So how do you help this kind of person? Again, I'm into meditation and I'm into prayers. I was really storming the heavens just to hold all these people. And then there's a third kind of patient, set of patients. This would be the ones who read or watch news, and then all the symptoms they seem to have. So it's not COVID, it's imagined. So again, this guiding them how to go back to the heart, because that was the only thing I had aside from me on the background praying for them and giving some medical instructions, was guiding them to tune into their hearts, because that's the source. And so, that's an experience which was so scary also for me, because third week of March, we really didn't know what we were dealing with that time. We didn't have as much information as what we have right now. But that hope, that really belief that the immune system will take care of the person, and then aligning that to the source, this was the one that really helped.
Yeah, it's like the true essence, going back really to the essential, I think, in life. And also I noticed like certain people having the COVID and those different, like the people being afraid of it. And I feel like now it's the time to rebuild. To really rebuild. It felt like when it went through COVID, it was really like you just have to go just to that pure essence, because it's like almost the surviving, this reconnection to really the heart of all things, and find that core heart, because most people were confined and being into a space where it's going back to just the source, because that's the only access that was present. And now it's feel like it's time actually to rebuild from that center. And sometimes we could try to rebuild directly from the outer world, because I feel like the people we had like a certain rhythm of life and habits and way to live, and all that was really organized and set. And now it like a lot fell around many people. So it's like the resilience now to change and to not try to attach to something that is gone, to certain point marks that we had, that somehow they are gone, and not everybody can rebuild exactly the same right now. So it's like from strengthening the immune system, from reopening from the heart after going back to the essence, is like rebuilding new portals or new point of reference in our life. And I think that's really a nice education as healthcare provider, and I noticed that also at the farm, really the education to the people. And I think all of us as professionals is really also key to provide tools now, from connecting to the heart, to the source, and then how to rebuild like a clear mental health, clear like healthy habit in our diet, healthy routine in our lives. It's like all of those elements, like I work always with the 5 elements. It's like the heart center, and then from there building up a healthy habit. So good grounding and exercise and diet, good and healthy relations towards ourselves and also the others again, and balancing the emotional body, which is really, really key at this moment, to make sure we can get strong enough to balance the emotional body, and then into our behavior also to really shift to healthy behavior that can nurture ourselves and allow ourselves to bloom and to continue to expand from that healthy vitality and energy. And the air for the breath and for the clarity of mind with the meditation and all. So I notice like really the education now also for people, like providing care, strengthening the immune system, and then making sure that everyone then can really apply those tools into their everyday life. And that's a program we can offer, all of us. And I notice at the farm, you also offer like very clear tools so that when they go back home after the program, they also have those tools that we can share. Do you want to share a bit of some tools that you provide to the people afterwards also?
The sustainability part, it will depend on what the patient is open to. So someone who is more mental, then we have to appeal to that first until, we get them to a state wherein they're not always in the head area. So it's highly individual. We tailor according to the openness and the, even the schedule, what the patient's schedule will allow this person to have this new habit.
Yes. So, it's all personal. I think everyone has a different rhythm in their life too, and different needs, different priorities. And that's really like allow that support so that they can also observe the condition of life, the environment, and then from there integrate the renewal. So it's like a complementarity between the inside and the world we live in constantly. Yes. And so now you are open at the farm. It's like all like more or less back to normal, or you still have to create certain modifications?
Because there's some like a legal regulation, and what we can really offer now would just be immune support. So it's the medical part of the farm which is fully functional. Like for example, the spa. What we can only offer would be myotherapy. So not massages yet.
Okay. But you already have the space, the nutrition, part, counsels.
Everything else, nutrition, our restaurant, and the food is being delivered in the rooms. There's just a limited number that can go because of social distancing requirements.
Okay. So I'm looking forward. I hope we can share some more. And really, let's just give like a practical tool for the people who are listening to us. And what would be your key message at the moment for like releasing the stress and strengthen themselves? I know you already shared quite a few, but what would be like the key one that would just come to you at the moment? Something practical.
So I'll ask you all to rub your hands together, generate warmth, and then put this on your heart. And really allow the chest area to receive the warmth from your hands. And at the same time, if you're sensitive enough, to also feel the gentle rise and fall of the chest as we breathe in and out. And for those who are more sensitive, they can actually feel the pulse or the beating of the heart. Exhale, creating space in between the cells of the body, so that when we inhale, we can take in oxygen, which is a life-giving gas. And as we inhale, we take in qualities that we need the most: vitality, resilience. Exhale, releasing what does not serve us anymore, whether it's a thought or an emotion. Just let go. And taking in, savoring the breath. And imagine the most beautiful version of the future you want to step into. You could be in a beach setting or a garden setting, or you can be at home. Feeling the air as it brushes against your skin. Taking in sunlight or moonlight, depending on your imagination. And really savoring this beautiful, safe space. And slowly opening our eyes. Imagining waterfalls of light flowing down, cleansing, purifying our world. And when you're ready, slowly letting go of your hands and opening our eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
It's beautiful to see you again.
Lovely reconnecting with you again.
Yes, and I hope we can continue to share some practices, experiences, like we're doing just now.
Yeah.
When we are all connected truly to our into this inner garden, we can feel the presence of all, and I feel you so close. And I feel like we're close to each and everybody who is listening at the moment, watching us, and noticing that all together we create that grid of peace, that safe heaven, the safe heaven inside of us, and the safe heaven that connects us all to the heartbeat of the earth and the heartbeats of all beings. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Marian.
Thank you also. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you.